The audio that you're about to listen to was taken from our Instagram live stream.
Welcome, ladies, gents, and our non-binary friends, to Spoiler Sleepover, a Nerd Camp Network production.
So this is our special episode. I'm standing for once. I'm normally seated.
Yeah. Welcome to my hell. I choose to do this.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
So how have you been? I mean, we've been catching up a little bit, but I mean,
It's also really weird because we're going to be talking like this when I'm normally used to just staring into.
we can
What are
do
we doing?
this and this and this. There's so much room for activities. All the kids just stand back here and it looks like we're the same height.
Look at that. So things have been good. Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is, I haven't seen you in person since October,
Mm-hmm. End of October. Yeah.
but I feel like I see you all the time. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what's keeping us up at night? That's right.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep. So yesterday we finished our last stream for the summer, our 24-hour stream. Oh boy, Lord knows why I do it, but I had to get up for work the day we started. So all in all, total, and I didn't fall asleep directly after, I was up for like 40 hours.
You did say you started watching the movie we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, which was a very, very foolish thing to do. Yeah, but the stream went great, and we're done for the summer. So whenever summer's done, then whenever it is,
Yeah.
back to more streams and things like that. But now we're just focusing strictly on camp.
Camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I started the episode of From today. I was like, I still have to watch the movie. Hang on. So From, I also started watching The Rookie with Nathan Fillion.
Oh, that show's amazing.
Okay, good.
Yes,
I
I
will.
stand by it wholeheartedly. And you're going to get to a point where you're going to be introduced to a specific character in the show. As soon as you meet that character, there's a spin-off series called The Rookie Feds, and they do crossovers. And The Rookie Feds is fantastic too. Like, they're both just awesome shows. I've been watching them since the start, so
Perfect.
I love them. Really good.
That, and I recently started listening to somebody that nobody would ever think I would listen to because I hate popular music.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to take a guess as to who I recently got into.
Popular music?
Mhm.
I mean, if it's recent popular music, I have no idea, unless they've been around for a while.
You definitely know who it is.
Is it Justin Bieber?
It is not Justin Bieber.
Because I have a secret love for Bieber.
Okay.
I have no shame in my game. I'm a believer. If you know me well, you know that. I have no idea.
Post Malone.
Ooh, that's too bad. Oh, no thanks. Most Malone.
I mean, there's some stuff where it's like, oh, okay, it's this. But then there's other stuff where it's like, you know what? It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It took a little bit to get into. It took a little bit of convincing. I tried the same thing with Billie Eilish once, and I was like, it's all the same.
Yeah.
It's just very...
Right. And she's got a couple songs that are like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was me with Lizzo. Like, I heard the name, never heard a song from her.
Mhm.
Then I heard a song on like a TV show one day, and I was just like, what is this? This is awesome. It sounds like if Missy Elliott was 20 again. And they were like, well, it's funny because Missy Elliott produced her albums. It's Lizzo.
Ah.
I listen to Lizzo. I fucking love her. But it's like, you know, I want to feel like a teenage girl. I'm going to put on some Lizzo right now. I feel like a bad bitch listening to her. So,
I'm going to scoot over here so I can grab my notes for the night.
oh, yeah.
What's been keeping you up at night, Rob?
Not much. Work. Work's been keeping me up at night. I worked 13 hours straight yesterday on my feet. So I'm very tired.
I apologize for having you stand right now. There is a chair. If you want, we can sit.
There's a good chance I might end up pulling up a seat. You'll still see me, though. I'll just pull
He'll sit down. He'll still be normal height.
Yeah, probably. Not much, honestly. Like, I'm rewatching Adventure Time.
Okay.
This is my eighth watch. It's my safe place.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
when I start to get really stressed out or like really depressed, I'm just like, all right, it's either Roseanne or Adventure Time. And I figured Adventure Time was a smart move. It's been 4 years. It's been 4 years. It was right after I got sober.
Nice.
It's been 4 years since I've watched it in its entirety. So I was just like, you know what, it's time. So I'm watching it. I'm on season 2 already. I was just started watching it. 9.
Good.
Well, if you include the HBO Max series Distant Lands, which is like a closer, it's a heartbreaking show, but that one is. But Adventure Time makes me happy. It makes me laugh. There's lots of fist bumps and fart jokes, and it makes me happy.
Nice.
So that's what's been keeping us up at night. That's pretty much what's been going on.
Did you do it?
Yeah, let's dive into this.
1980. The year of this movie, if you did not know, it might be backwards. I don't know.
It is totally backwards.
I don't know what it's going to look like in the video, but if it's not backwards, or if it is backwards, it says Friday the 13th.
I'm wearing a shirt, and it's a long sleeve, and it's too hot to wear a long sleeve, but that's when I'm wearing shorts. Fuck it.
So 1980, Friday the 13th, Sean Cunningham, basically riding off the coattails of 78's Halloween from John Carpenter, but at the same point spawned its own monster of a character and its own franchise, which is iconic. Pop culture knows a hockey mask is not just a goalie anymore.
Mhm.
It's about a psychotic killer named Jason Voorhees. Funny enough, I am named Jason Michael after Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers.
Best parents ever.
They wanted to name me Jason Michael Frederick, or my dad did at least, and mom was like, "Nah, that's too long. Too long for 3 names. That and I don't have 3 cats."
Well, here's the thing. 3 names is a serial killer thing, but then you have your last name, so you wouldn't be a serial killer. You'd be like a cult leader or something like that. This dude's got 4 fucking names. He's got a cult.
Damn right.
Hell yeah.
I mean, we kind of have a cult right here.
A little bit, yeah.
Besides that, 1980, Friday the 13th, which funny enough only has Jason in it for maybe a combined total of 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Only at the very end. But to get us started, starts 1956, I think is what it's. Yeah, it's not 1950 something. At Camp Crystal Lake, there's a whole kumbaya guitar like circle happening.
Literally church music.
Yeah.
On an acoustic guitar.
Yeah. So there the boat ashore.
Yeah, you know what makes me horny? Church music.
And that's exactly what happens when 2 counselors sneak off to do the dirty. They sneak away and they're just like, "Oh no, don't worry about it." Meanwhile, they're getting this wonderful tracking shot with a camera of somebody's watching. Eventually, when they start doing the dirty, they hear a noise and they go, "Oh, someone's watching. Oh God." They stand up, see the person with the camera. What is it? Who is it? We don't know. But those 2 people get stabbed. Well, at least one of them gets stabbed. The other one gets a cut, like freeze frame and then a title card. But I'm going to assume they got stabbed.
Oh, well, yeah, he definitely got stabbed. I'm assuming because there's a stab noise and he holds his gut.
Yeah, he definitely got stabbed.
They
On the other
also
hand.
know who that person is.
Yes.
It's not like they're scared. They're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Like, that's one of the things that always gets me in the movie. I'm like, how, like, oh man, it's a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Italian delicious hands. It's the best touch because it's just like most horror films, slashers up to that point, it was, they don't know who it is, exactly. And I mean, even at that point, like Driller Killer and stuff like that, it's just some random dude, but they know.
Yeah.
That makes it that much scarier because right up front, you're like, this is a person that people trust.
Yeah, not for long.
No.
So title card, which zooms up and it gives you enough time to go, "Oh, okay, I understand what the movie, or I can read what the movie is. I can still read what the movie is. It just needs shattered glass. Great. Yeah. And iconic music from Harry Manfredini. However you pronounce that last name.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, the score is amazing. It's so overdone. It's such an overdone score for such a low-grade movie, too.
Yeah.
Especially if you're watching it on Paramount Plus. Don't watch it on Paramount
God,
Plus.
no. Okay, so I had that on my notes. It's on Prime. Watch it on Prime.
Yeah.
Because for some strange reason, and I kind of want to go back in after just
See if it's fixed.
Yeah. On Paramount, you get to a certain scene. It's not a dramatic scene. They're putting in docs. And the audio just delays hardcore. Like,
Real hard.
we'll be talking right here for a little bit, and then the audio will play. So you'll just see, like, things happen. Audio.
It was happening to me, and I was just like, yeah, it's screwed up for me. So I just switched over to Prime, and then literally 2 minutes later, just Michael texted me. He's like, is the audio screwed up for you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm on Prime now. I gave up. I just went over to Prime.
Yeah. So, after that whole thing takes place, this whole movie takes place in Jersey, by the way. I think I wrote down the county. If not, yeah, I think it's like Hope County or something like that.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, Hardwick Township, my bad. So about almost about 6 hours from here, I looked it up because there's a cemetery and I wanted to see, like, is that gate still there? Turns out it is.
Mhm.
And maybe there will be a road trip, maybe not, but probably. But so we are introduced to Annie. Annie is a character who's trying to make her way up to Camp Crystal Lake, where those many years ago the murders took place. She walks into a diner. Actually, she meets a wonderful, wonderful good dog for a little bit. Then she goes into the diner.
She doesn't just meet the dog. She tells you what sex the dog is.
Mm-hmm.
She checks out dog genitals.
Mm-hmm.
This is who Annie is. She likes dog dick.
And she's going to be a cook. Should we be worried about that?
I mean, as somebody who's eaten some weird meat in my days, as long as she prepares it right.
You know, well, so she goes into a local diner or like coffee shop. And of course, she goes, can anybody tell me how to get to Camp Crystal Lake? And she gets the classic horror movie thing of everyone turns and stares, just silently. And it's like, probably not a good thing.
You're going to Camp Blood?
Yep. Camp Blood,
Sure
Camp
am.
Crystal Lake, many other names known as over the years in the franchise. But eventually one truck driver, I think his name was like Enos. Enos.
I think they say it real quick. The best part is he's credited as the truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
He decides that he'll take her, and then we're introduced to literally my favorite character in the entire movie. Ooh, the best, Ralph. Ralph is the man. I love Ralph.
So Ralph comes in as our bearer of bad news, our harbinger of doom, practically, to warn, if you're going up there, you're dead. Everybody who's going to be up there, dead. Your friends, dead. Your mom, dead. Everybody else, dead.
Yeah.
And, of course, oh, that's crazy, Ralph. Don't worry about him. He gets on his bike and rides away. Pedals away. Not like a motorcycle, but like pedals.
So real different Ralph, especially if it was that character on like a hog.
Yeah, just oh, what? No,
Ralph goes from endearing to just a douche in like 2 seconds. You're just like, oh, he's a cute, crazy old. Oh, he's an asshole. Never mind.
Yep. So, truck driver helps Annie into the truck and starts driving. He's like, you know what happened up there, right? Kids got stabbed, and then a couple years later they tried to reopen it. Something was wrong with the water supply. They poisoned the water hole. And they've just tried to reopen it several times, and basically it was all bad luck. And they're like, oh, this time it will be perfectly fine. And he's just like, oh, you stupid, stupid kids. Ignorant, stupid kids. Just completely lays into her. And she's like, yeah, we're stupid. It's like, I know.
She calls him, she says, you're an American original.
Yep.
I don't know what the fuck that means, but she says it. He repeats it. He's like, yep, I'm an American original.
And you're an idiot.
What the fuck? Like, that whole drive is so awkward. It happens with other people in other cars later in the movie. They're just assholes to each other. It's like, what is it with passengers and drivers being dicks to each other? We just drove to the store and had a great time. Yeah. I yelled at other people, but not him.
That's true. Your Bluetooth connected, like, right as we were pulling into the place. It's like, hello? Okay, bye.
Yeah, we got a nice interruption from horror movie night. It was great.
Yeah. So she gets out, I think, because he had to take her, like, halfway. And it's, like, 20 minutes from the town or something is what I believe they said. So it took her about 10 miles, if I've mathed correctly. And she starts walking. She drops her off right in front of the cemetery gate that we were talking about.
Mhm.
So she starts walking. Cue I completely forgot this was even in the movie. The longest banjo jam I've ever heard in the truck with Kevin Bacon and two other characters. Just they're driving, of course, taking the piss out of each other, and just slamming on banjo music. They're just like I don't remember it taking this long.
I don't either.
And it's just banjo, 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 and it's a whole solo. It's like if Freebird was a banjo song. It just
That would be awesome. I'm here for banjo.
We're gonna have to look that up after this.
Free Banjo Bird. Oh, you know who could do that though? Is Matt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Matt's an amazing guitarist.
Matt,
we need Freebird, but on banjo, please and thank you.
Yes.
Free, make that happen.
Or else.
Yeah. Oops, excuse me.
So Kevin Bacon and these two other characters, they roll up to Camp Crystal Lake where shirtless but yet wearing a bandana around his neck, Steve, because Lord knows what the bandana was protecting him from, while he's chopping wood.
Can't forget about the mustache.
Oh, God, yeah. We're introduced to Steve.
It's in my note. Who let Steve around kids? I wrote that just because of his look alone. I was just like, I don't know, man.
The short Daisy Duke shorts and the mustache, and yeah, he's just all sorts of.
He's a walking red flag.
Oh yeah. And even like maybe a minute or two later, we're introduced to Steve. We're introduced to Alice, who comes out of just one of the buildings, basically saying, "Yep, this building's all set. Where's this guy? I don't know. He was painting or something. Oh no, he needs to paint, but he was like down at the water or something like that." And then Alice goes off, and then a brief second later, Alice goes to a different thing entirely.
Yeah.
So it's like very jumpy there for a second.
Just trying to fix a
gutter,
lining or gutter, and does not know how to hold a hammer.
Yeah, no.
I've never seen anyone hold a hammer.
No. Steve comes up and goes, "Let me help you," and he's just. I don't know if there was anything romantic going on between them, or
see, it's never mentioned, but it seems like it's led that way. Like she talks about, she's from California.
Yeah.
Like she's there in Jersey. She came from California to Jersey to work at a summer camp.
Yep.
Like you went from Mass to New Hampshire. That's a skip and a jump. Fucking California. Anyways, he says he'll put her on the bus if she's unhappy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's also like he's flipping open her sketchbook, and there's like, from what we could see, fantastic drawings of like the water with the canoes, and he flips another one, and it's a picture of him, and he goes, "Is this really what I look like?" And she goes, "Last night you did." And
last night you did.
What was happening? What? Why? Steve. The picture doesn't do him any justice. He just looks. I mean, even though we see it upside down and from like a far away angle, it still doesn't. It doesn't look better for him. Steve is just a creep all around.
Steve doesn't do Steve any justice.
No. Steve's. So then cut to Annie. Annie's still walking. The Jeep pulls up, and she starts hitchhiking with the Jeep, and it's a first-person camera. From what we've known so far with the first-person camera, is that it's not good.
Right. Oh no, actually, that happens after, because they keep introducing the other counselors to be.
Mm-hmm.
It cuts to the archery range. That's the next one.
Oh, yeah, no, I wrote that down too.
I can't remember her name, but she's putting up the bullseye.
I want to say it was Brenda. Yep.
Yeah, she's putting up the bullseye, and then...
Which they need new archery faces, because that thing's destroyed. You couldn't tell what you got if you tried.
No, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she has an arrow shot basically at her.
Ned.
Yeah, Ned did that.
Ned, like... What were you thinking, Ned? Are you really that good of a shot? And even if you are, don't, because by some stretch of just like, all right, ooh, bug in my eye. Cool, great. There's one of the characters gone, and it wasn't from the killer.
No, and we're introduced to like Ned's character type too in that moment. Like, if that's not enough of a dick move, then he does like this old like 50s actor impression. Hey, how you going?
Oh God, yeah.
Happens again later. Like I don't know what it was. Like all these failed theater acting kids at a camp or something like that. But I guess that's what camp is for. No offense, but
I turned the subtitles on because there was a few times where they were whispering or like mumbling things. I was like, what the hell are they even saying? But yeah, no, they said who he was trying to impersonate, but I don't remember who it was. Yeah. So then, Annie's in the Jeep, first person. Cool. Then we cut back to the camp. Steve leaves the kids or the counselors alone so he can go into town and get stuff. And he's like, oh, well, looks like it's going to rain like hell. So get all your stuff done nice and quick. He takes off, and he's like, if Andy gets here, send her straight to the kitchen, get her cooking, let her do her work.
Another red flag.
Yeah. So Steve goes to town. Meanwhile, everybody, all the counselors go off and, they do counselors in the 80s things, or they are starting to. Annie, in the Jeep, on the other hand, the Jeep drives past Camp Crystal Lake Road, or whatever road it's called, and she goes, isn't that the road back here? Stop, please. Like, jumps out of the Jeep.
Yeah, rock and roll.
Yeah, which I don't know if she just jumped while being still, but the door did open and it looked like she jumped out and there was a hard cut. I don't know if she jumped while being still, but when she rolled,
that's a somersault.
Yeah. But when she stops, there's a giant boulder right next to her.
Oh yeah.
Like inches from her head, just going, oh. Sean, stop filming. Oh shit. Yeah, no, it could have been horrible. So she gets up, starts running into the woods. First person camera follows her. We see legs of somebody.
Yep.
And then we see the hairy knuckles of one Tom Savini behind the scenes.
For the first time.
Yeah, Tom Savini was not actually the killer. Or was he? But slits Annie's throat. Slits her throat. And it's
real cool effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shot is really cool too, just for the way that they did it, where it's pre-cut and loaded with blood with the tube.
And all she had to do was
close her mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because her mouth is open and then she closes it and it separates the wound. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Savini, he is the god. An asshole, but he's a god.
Or so we've heard.
Yes.
Yes. So, cuts back and they're putting in the docks and being, fools about it. One of them standing on the docks as they're drifting it into the spot, doing flips on it. Idiots. No, stop it. Those things are heavy. Don't mess with them. Don't do it. This coming from a guy who's done plenty of dock days. Now, oh, God, yeah. One of them was today, but I was asleep.
Oh, man.
Because, I was up for 40 hours.
Yeah.
So, they're just sitting there, and then we cut to a camera angle that's in the woods watching. And they're just having their normal conversations like, what, you see something? They go, nah, I don't see anything. Did you, though? So they have a whole conversation about what's your favorite type of ice cream? Rocky Road. Push the guy into the water. Then they're getting out of the water, they're done, and they hear one of their friends screaming, help! It's like, oh, shit, somebody's drowning. No, he's just playing a prank and wanted to kiss one of the girls.
Yeah, what you did in 1980.
Yeah, you know what happens now? And worse.
Yes.
So, Kevin Bacon's character, I wrote down all their names when, and why and how they get killed. Jack and I think it was Brenda. No, it wasn't Brenda. It was Marcy.
Marcy.
Yep.
Who did not age well, by the way. I don't know if you looked up what she looks like now, but...
No.
Oh, man. Sorry, I'm sounding like Steve right now. I apologize. Yeah, she's awesome, though. But they slink off. Mm-hmm. So one of the weirdest kisses, too. Did you notice how she, just dead mouth kisses him?
And
it's
and
so
Kevin Bacon is just like...
Yeah, he goes in. He's in. Oh, man. So they slink off.
And Ned is watching from the side like a creep.
Yeah.
But then he also kind of feels lonely.
Yeah, so he pretends to be a tightrope walker for some reason.
They were balancing on a log first, and he's like, I can do that too.
So weird.
And he keeps walking and sees a cabin and sees someone, we don't know who, someone go into the cabin. He's like, hello, who are you? Follows them into the cabin.
Yep.
Meanwhile, one of the many reasons why I love thunderstorms, but also love and hate loons, is because of this movie.
Oh, really?
Because they are terrifying when you hear them in the middle of the night.
I love loons.
Yeah.
They're so relaxing. I don't know. I grew up in Connecticut and coming to New Hampshire for vacations, and my uncle has a house on the lake.
Yeah.
And we'd hear that at night. And so anytime I hear loons, I'm like, oh, loons. I can get why this movie would change that for you.
Yeah. Yeah, at our camp, doesn't matter where you are on camp, you can hear the loons.
That's awesome.
Day and night. It's like, okay.
That lightning strike is terrible in that movie.
Oh, yeah, it's basically just
a flash.
Yeah, turns on headlights, turns them off.
Oh, it's about the storm. Are you sure there's just not a car in the lake? That's what it looks like.
Yeah, and they're like, oh God, it's storming. Guess we better go inside.
Oh, my. Pun intended.
Yeah. So they go into what turns out to be the same exact cabin as Ned went into, and they start doing the dirty.
Yeah.
Which at the same point later on,
Church music did not turn them on though.
yeah, no, they're just
storms.
They're just stormy, horny teens.
Horny for stormy. Not from Sea Lab 2021. I mean, if you are, then go for it. But
I was gonna make a joke
sorry.
making a shirt about it, and I thought about it like that.
Horny for stormy. I'm down for it. Just a cloud with a lightning bolt and a wind.
Can't wear that anywhere. No, I think
Sure
about
you
it.
can. Just cursive font. You can't read it until they're right up on there.
So we cut back to the other characters. We cut back to Bill, Alice, and Brenda.
Mm-hmm.
They're off in what appears to be like the main like staff area or just main cabin, whatever you want to call it. And they're like, oh man, it's about the storm. They're going to get drenched if they're out in the storm. And Bill's playing that classic acoustic guitar. He's that one guy that always plays guitar, no matter where they are. So thanks, Bill. You're that guy. You're a stereotype now, Bill. And they're like, well, this is boring. Let's play Monopoly. It's like, I hate Monopoly.
Oh, you jumped over though.
Oh.
There was they take off. There's the snake.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, the snake. I have that note as well. That is a not a happy story.
No.
Yeah,
that's a real snake.
That was before all of this. I think it's Alice in her cabin sees a snake. It's a black snake, and it's just slithering around on the floor. She screams. It's not Kevin Bacon. It's not Ned. It's Bill.
It's Bill.
Comes in with a machete. Comes in with a machete, and they're like, "Where's the snake? Where's the snake? It's underneath the bed." They film from under the bed, and it's like
Kevin Bacon gives the bed the people's elbow to scare the snake out.
My favorite line has to be, "Call it, call it." What do you mean, call a snake? Oh, what? Yeah.
Oh, my people here.
Yeah, call the snake. Call the snake. Yeah, thanks, Alice. Great. So Kevin Bacon, people elbows the bed. It breaks. Snake starts squirming around. Bill gets it. Kills the actual snake. It is a real snake. The snake handler was on set. Didn't know this was going to happen, and apparently had to be physically held back when they fucking decapitated his snake.
Yeah, I cut it twice. He hit it twice. Cut its head off and then cut it in the middle too. 3 pieces. Really just kill the snake, for real.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, that's also the start of the whole, like, no animals were harmed in the making of this film is because of Friday the 13th.
That's Friday the 13th.
Yeah. They ruined it. Like, they were already at that point, there were a lot of people, like, working to protect animals in films because if you go way back, like, horses in films were treated terribly. Like, some horses were even bought and then immediately killed after the filming of movies.
Cannibal Holocaust.
Cannibal Holocaust, oh my gosh. And then that's a whole different thing because they were able to get away, quote unquote, get away with it because they were in a foreign country.
Yep.
And it was like the director's whole thing about it was he was like, you know what? We utilized it. They ate the turtle, they ate that mongoose, like they actually cooked it. So yeah, they killed it on camera, but they ate it. Because it's like that's what they do in that country. It's like you still filmed it.
Yeah, watching that whole movie was upsetting and just unnerving, and then watching those scenes and going, "Oh shit, yeah, that's real." Yeah, that's a whole thing that I completely forget about, and I'm not a big fan of. But
they kill a snake too, don't they? Yeah, they kill a snake too, and
they cut off the guy's dick.
Yeah, but that's a different type of snake. That's a trouser snake.
I will say that I completely forgot was a thing, and I just went, oh, and kind of buckled my knees watching that scene.
Yeah, I mean, that's the tamest genital mutilation that happens in that movie. We should do that movie. Oh my gosh. We would not be able to. There's no platform that would let us do that.
No.
We can't talk about it. Even this is probably getting cut close to what we should be talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
rocks we can get is Terrifier and Terrifier 2.
Yeah, rocks don't belong in holes. I'll just say that. So yeah, they kill a fucking snake. Let's get back on topic. Sorry.
Anyway, snake. Characters going to do the dirty, start playing Monopoly, but not the normal Monopoly. It's strip Monopoly.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Who doesn't want to get naked and be angry at the same time?
I flipped the board in Monopoly once.
Did you imagine do it with your dick?
Gotta be real sorts of horny for Stormy at that point.
Oh my god.
So,
Horny for
horny for
Stormy.
Stormy. Jesus Christ, Mom, please don't watch this. But we cut back, and Kevin Bacon and Marcy. So many names. I had to write them down because I didn't remember any of their names.
So many names and so many like unlikable characters. Like Marcy gets a pass.
Yeah.
Marcy basically doesn't have personality.
Yeah. Alice gets a pass too because she's our main protagonist.
And is barely on screen.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that blows my mind is like she's barely on screen. They're like, here she is.
Why?
We'll see you at the end of the movie.
I also noticed with this movie is basically like, all right, here's murder in the beginning. Set up. Okay, we're doing things. Kill.
Yeah.
It's basically half, not even half, like barely a third of it is set up, and then the rest is like evenly spaced out and drawn out kills.
Right.
Yeah. So Kevin Bacon and Marcy doing the dirty. Meanwhile, the camera goes up and they see Ned. Ned confirmed dead off camera on top of their bunk bed.
We see Ned.
Yes.
They have no idea.
Yeah. So they finish. I probably should have phrased that differently, but at the same point,
I mean, that's what happened.
yeah, you get what I'm saying. And then Marcy goes off to the bathhouse. Meanwhile, Kevin Bacon, I don't know what he was about to smoke, whether it be a cigarette or whatever it was, but he's about to start having a smoke, gets a little blood dripped on him, stabbed through the neck with an arrow. Well, hand reaches up, grabs his head, stabs him through the neck with an arrow. Mr. Tom Savini underneath the bed with like the fake neck as well, stabbing through. Story with that one, they had a hot water bottle that was supposed to squeeze and spurt the blood up. It wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So then they just had to take it off and blow into the hose.
Which made it so much better.
Yeah.
Have you seen the extended cut?
Doesn't it like go right onto Kevin's face or
But
something?
it bubbles.
Oh.
Yeah, there's bubbling, so it looks like it's like actual breath. Because it was actual breath.
Yeah.
So it just makes it that much more. Yeah, there's like, and by extended, I mean, I think it's like 10 seconds extra. That extra 10 seconds is awesome. But it was actually so grotesque, they had to cut it.
I feel like a lot of the stuff was cut or edited just specifically to watch. Like when I saw it, one of the things that I kept trying to rewind, but Brian was like, nah, don't do that. I was telling you about was Annie's kill.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't recall it going throat slit. White screen.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, oh, they just like, oh, it happened. I thought it was maybe like a Paramount thing.
It bleeds out a little bit, and then that's it. Yeah. Did we skip over the cop showing up? The most,
oh my god,
the most modern, like today's type of cop. This like, oh my god, what an asshole.
And like when Kevin Bacon shows up, and he's just like, "What? You just come off of your spaceship, son? What planet are you orbiting right now?"
That comes out of fucking nowhere. Yeah, and the cop shows up to just simply be like, "Has anyone seen Crazy Ralph?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he should be around here somewhere." And then they go into the house. And Crazy Ralph is just chilling in the pantry. Ralph, dude's just chilling in the pantry.
And you're doomed, John.
What are you in my pantry for? He's just hanging out in the pantry.
Eating your snacks, but you're doomed.
Yeah. He wanted some fucking Jello jigglers and some crackers, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
What would crazy people eat? It has to be a weird combination of foods. He's like eating like marmalade and
canned green beans.
and Vienna sausages. There we go. Marmalade and sausages. Vienna sausages with the water. The Vienna sausage.
Water. Good lord. All right.
Crazy Ralph. I love Crazy Ralph.
Crazy. Ralph takes off on his bike down the road then. Yep, so Jack's killed. Now we cut to the bathhouse where Marcy is, and she's like, Jack, as she hears the door open, and it's not Jack. Eventually she goes and checks everything, checks the shower, checks the toilets, and turns around to an axe just being brought up, and then a cutaway right before she gets killed. But it's pretty much just implied.
No, it's
Nice.
liquid death. No, she gets axed in the head.
What the fuck? Did it show it?
Mm-hmm.
What on earth? It's because
How
I've been
long?
up for like 40 hours.
Yeah, so she gets axed in the head. That whole scene is just an homage to Psycho, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's got the Bates whole thing with the axe, but it's in a shower. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. It's such a great homage. Yeah, she gets axed right in the head. And, I mean, her death is all right. I mean, granted, she wasn't a great actress. I don't think she really continued to be. I looked at her IMDb, and she didn't do a whole lot, honestly.
Yeah.
I can't imagine her doing anything now.
Yeah. One of the two characters in the beginning, his name was Barry. I looked him up, and his IMDb page, because I wanted to get all the names of the people that were killed, his IMDb page is like just him in this movie.
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay, all right, great.
There was a few of those. So.
Yeah, I can't imagine that a lot of the careers took off after this. Kevin Bacon.
I know. It's funny too. Looking at the IMDb pages, is like they're all like these, like real old headshots.
Yep.
Or like just stills from this movie. And then there's Kevin Bacon is this professional shot where he's like wearing like a leather jacket.
Yep.
Just like, what the hell? Like, all right, cool.
I'm still like laughing at the one we recorded, and I was trying to figure out what the character's name was.
Yeah.
And I looked up the picture, and it's just not even the right person.
No.
It's just an older man, and it's like the dude we're looking for is just like kind of maybe mid-20s, early 30s, bearded, and it's just some old like leather-skinned white-haired dude. And it's from a movie that came out last year, maybe 2 years ago.
Last year.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah. But we'll get back to that at a later time.
Yes.
So
Maybe sooner than later.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Where are we at this point?
We are now.
There's a quick little scene with Steve at the diner in town, and he's basically getting a cup of coffee, and he's like, I should probably head back to camp.
Yeah, homeboy left at like the morning
Yeah.
and comes back at night. And
Yep.
he's been driving the entire time, and his fucking Jeep breaks down. You've been going for a whole day. How does your Jeep break down? Just happens to be. I feel like it's almost the same distance where the original shit got dropped off.
Yep.
It's like that area is just a dead zone. So if we road trip out there, we got to find a way around it.
It's cursed.
Yes, doom. Doom. So he gets picked up by a different cop,
Yep.
a nicer one, a donut cop. We'll call him a donut cop. 'Cause, yeah,
Donut and Dick Cop.
yeah. And they even donut and dick. Donut and dick. Yeah. Oh my god,
We're doing great.
we're out of control.
This is what happens when we're in person.
I guess so. I mean, this is almost as unhinged as we were just recording audio.
Not wrong. Not wrong. Talking about Cannibal Holocaust. Any
We're
whoozle.
also both extremely exhausted.
God help us all.
Yeah.
So, Strip Monopoly got canceled by, I think something broke a window or they heard something happen. We also forgot the whole generator thing. The generator was a pivotal plot point for a second where it's like, how do we turn it on? Well, I'll tell you where the emergency generator is, and this is how you do it. Because it comes back later, because Bill cannot figure out how the hell to turn the generator back on.
Kevin Bacon figured it out.
Oh, Kevin Bacon figured it out, and later, Betsy Palmer figured it out. And turns out it was just a simple flip of the switch.
Flip of the switch.
Bill, you suck. Needless to say. So, they start going out into the woods.
Oh, we see Kevin Bacon's butt.
We do?
Yeah.
Oh.
During the boink scene. I completely forgot about that. She grabs his butt cheeks. Kevin Bacon had a thing. I think that started it. It was like, all right, here's a little butt cheek. And then as his career went on, he was just like, hey, check out my dick, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That dude loves to get naked on film.
Good for him.
Good for him, indeed. Yeah. I wish I was that confident with my body.
I'm not.
Me neither.
Anyway.
Cheers to the Indian
That's why I get tattoos. Anyway. So,
Same.
they all start going out into the woods. Brenda goes back to her cabin, and Bill and Alice go to start investigating things. Where did everybody go? Meanwhile, it's still pouring. Brenda goes back to her cabin, and it says on the subtitles, little boy screaming, help me.
And this is the part of the movie that pisses me off.
Mm.
Okay, so Pamela Voorhees' whole thing, in case you haven't seen this movie, you're way too fucking late. Like, this isn't a movie that came out last year. Pamela Voorhees is the fucking killer. So, get over it.
You spoiled them. Oh.
The whole thing is that camp counselors were fucking,
Mm-hmm.
and her son drowned,
Mm-hmm.
right? Brenda goes out to find the kid.
Yep.
Goes out there to help and still gets killed. This is the only thing in this movie that pisses me off. Like, this is actual rage. I'm like, what the fuck? She's doing the right thing. You still killed her?
Yep.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit. bullshit. God damn it. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. It's oh my god, it's such bullshit. Continue. I'm sorry. I had to just air that grievance. It really bothers me.
Yeah, she goes out into the woods, finds herself at the archery range. Again, lights flip on, and we get a cutaway, and it comes back. She's dead. She's dead. We'll see that later. Bill goes out, and Alice goes out. I think Alice returned to that like main cabin area, but Bill was alone on his own for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
No. She was in the bathroom. She was in the bathhouse.
They both went into the bathhouse.
Yeah, and then Bill went to go check the generators. Yep. Which, flip of a switch, Bill. Get your life together.
Yeah. And everyone's gone, by the way. Mm-hmm. Everyone that's died, their bodies are gone. Ooh. Oh, they go into the cabin, and Mrs. Voorhees is tucked in the axe. They find an axe in the bed, and the axe head is on the pillow.
Yep.
They're
just sleeping.
Yeah, I had a long day, man.
Yeah. A lot of chopping.
You've done good work. Night, axe.
It's the 80s. What can you do?
Yeah.
So
put your axe to bed.
So Alice stays in the bathhouse, and Bill goes out, and we get that first-person camera, which there was a scene earlier where it's clearly behind a tree, and it looks like it's somebody, and Alice just walks by and then comes back, and it's basically like, ooh, right behind the tree. Either it wasn't a person, it was meant to be just that camera angle, or it was Pamela Voorhees, and she's really bad at hiding, or Alice is just completely fucking blind. Either way,
I think Alice is blind.
Probably. So Bill disappears because he's, flipping, or not flipping switches, but checking on a generator. Meanwhile, Alice then goes and leaves the bathhouse, door closes, and it's Bill just arrowed to a door. Probably hearkening back to the 78 knife to the chest stuck to the door. But
one of my favorite Halloween kills ever in any of the movies. That is just the brute force to just knife somebody through the chest and spinal cord.
Especially when it's like a normal-sized kitchen knife. Listen, science and it makes...
Does it matter in horror movies?
No, fuck no. Absolutely not. Have you seen Jason, Michael, and every other killer in these movies, and yet they have a whole franchise after they've been shot, stabbed, everything? 6 times? 6 times! 6 times!
Evil dies tonight.
No.
I'll see myself out.
No, bye. See, thanks for coming, Rob. Anyway.
I'm back.
Hey! So she starts running and screaming, finds Bill attached to the wall. She goes back to, the main area, and she starts, barricading everything. She ties a rope over the rafter to the door and just, tightens it, then starts, putting things in the way to basically fall through or make the person step over, and then grabs a baseball bat. I didn't recall seeing the baseball bat there before.
Yeah, no.
But she goes and hides in, the kitchen. Those blinds, man. Usually when people slide cloth blinds, it's usually very, no, she struggled with every single blind to just move it.
That's the 80s. That cam's been sitting there
Their blind technology.
forever.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's just broken. Blinds don't work anymore.
God damn it.
These blinds are broken.
Yeah. And then as we were talking about with, what the hell's her name? Brenda. Brenda's dead because she gets thrown. It's very slow, too. It makes sense. Because Pamela Voorhees just basically going, God fucking damn, and throws her through the window. She basically just hits the window and slumps through. So,
awesome.
Yeah. And then within a brief moment later, we see headlights coming up outside in the Jeep. And is it Steve's Jeep?
I don't know.
No.
I'm assuming it's got to be Pamela Voorhees has her own Jeep because Steve's Jeep's broken down.
That's right. Which we also forgot to touch upon. Steve's dead. He walks and makes it up to the Camp Crystal Lake sign, and then goes, because a flashlight shined in his face. It goes, who's that? Oh, it's just you. What are you doing here? Stabbed. Dead.
Again.
Good. Thank God.
We know who the killer is. They're...
People know who it is.
Yep.
And then somebody gets out of the Jeep, makes it to the door because Alice... Oh, no. Alice unties it, goes outside, and goes, Steve, oh, wait. You're not Steve. Who are you? Turns out, Pamela Voorhees.
Yeah, she's friends with the Christies, who used to own this camp.
Friend of the Christies. And it's like, well, we need to leave. Everybody's dead. It's like, that's okay. I'm not afraid. I'm going to go see for myself. Is that a red flag or is that just foolishness? But either way, she's the killer, so.
Yeah, I mean, Pamela seems genuine.
Yeah.
That's the thing is she walks in and Brenda's dead on the floor.
Yep.
And her response is, oh my gosh, what a shame. She's so young.
So young, such a waste.
And it's like, okay. Yeah.
Then I don't know if she was told, like, act super dramatic or, like, just she throws herself at the wall because, like, oh, it's such a waste. It was the little boy who died here. And it's like, oh, damn. All right.
That's her acting.
Good for you, Betsy Palmer. Good for you.
That was Betsy Palmer. That was the era. That was how she acted back in the day, too. Like, she was advised not to take this role.
Yeah.
This will ruin your career.
She couldn't really do that kind of acting in Cujo because, a car doesn't have that much mobility.
Yeah.
But anyway, she starts going off about how a little boy drowned here. His name was Jason. And how the counselors didn't know that he was drowning because they were too busy making love. Love. Yeah,
To Jesus music.
But a shark.
Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya.
Yeah! Nasty. So, she starts going on. It was a boy that drowned here. The counselors were making love. No, they weren't. It was the 80s. They were having just 80s violent drug-filled sex. His name was Jason. Besides that, it was his birthday today.
Yeah, it was my son. And it's his birthday today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The 13th of whatever month, because, it just happened to fall on Friday the 13th. You think about this. Any other year, it could have been the 13th on, like, a Wednesday. Could have been the 13th on Tuesday. It just happened to fall on a Friday. So that's why this is called Friday the 13th.
And it was a full moon.
Yeah, no, the cop went on about that. Like, all the shit happens, like, murders, rapes, all the worst stuff happens because it's a full moon and Friday the 13th. It's like, fantastic. But imagine if, like, Jason probably was born on a random day that was not a Friday.
Yeah.
It just so happened that
Monday the 13th.
Yeah, Pamela started killing everybody at Camp Crystal Lake on Friday the 13th.
During a full moon.
Yeah. Thanks, Pamela. So she pulls out her knife, which I don't recall seeing the sheath on her hip when she walked in.
Me neither.
Yeah. So she goes after Alice. Alice basically just gets out of the way and, like, traps her in the pantry for a hot second. She gets up, runs, takes off. Meanwhile, Pamela follows her and starts going, "Kill her, Mommy. Kill her."
Yeah.
Talking as, like, Jason and going, "I will, Jason." Which the whole, we'll come back to this because I want to know your opinion on this in a second. So, follows her, and then she thinks she gets away. Alice thinks she gets away down on the beach. Turns out Pamela's right behind her, like, swinging a canoe paddle at her. Misses. It's broken. She tries stabbing her and just falls and crumples onto the sand. A whole fight's breaking out.
What the best part of the fight, though? First of all, Pamela has killed all these people with ease.
Oh, yeah.
And is having the worst time with Alice. Cannot take her down. Alice, once they hit the beach, Alice gets an oar and just nails Pamela in the front butt.
Mm-hmm.
So hard. Mm-hmm. That's like my favorite thing. I was just like, I always forget she just oared to the vagina.
Yep.
Like, so hard. Like,
yep.
And she crumples. I mean, it's gotta hurt. It's genitals being hit. I don't have a vagina, but I can imagine it would still hurt. Oh my gosh.
Ugh. So then one of the things, because Rob actually got here while I was finishing the movie, and we're watching it, and I'm like, it probably doesn't hurt. But then Rob was like, yeah, I mean, the sand is probably wet, so it's probably solid. She just basically grabs Alice's head and starts going onto the sand. I'm like, that might not be that bad, but
it's wet. It's gotta hurt. I mean, that's like people falling out of planes. They're like, oh, I'm over water.
no, that's concrete.
Yeah, once you
That
fall
water
in a
turns to
certain
concrete.
speed, it's game over.
I mean, the worst, if it didn't hurt, it's like, haha, now you have sand in your eyes. Ha 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 ha. She gets up and then manages to get away, grabs the machete that Pamela also had down there, and slow motion run up, and then decapitation.
Yeah.
With, once again, a reappearance from Tom Savini in his hairy knuckles pretending to be Betsy Palmer. Nah, your hairy knuckles ain't fooling nobody.
Fantastic.
You ain't Betsy. So
Alice has the brilliant idea. All right, well, that was a fun fight. I decapitated someone. Let's get in a canoe. Mm-hmm. Just immediately, too. There's no hesitation. Just like, all right, I cut that bitch's head off. It's time to jump in a canoe.
middle of the night, storm just passed through, so who knows, another storm could go through. Metal canoe, middle of the lake. She didn't bring an oar or a paddle or anything. She's just floating in the middle, which it's a great scene, not only for what happens, but like the water's so placid. The water looks like glass, and it's so calm when in the morning a cop rolls up and just goes, "Hey!" And she's awake, she's moving her hand, and then just looks up and goes, "Ah." Meanwhile, in the back behind the boat, little kid Jason.
Yeah, the birthday boy's a day late for his own party.
Yep. Quite possibly one of the most iconic scenes in all of 1980s, let alone the entire Friday the 13th franchise, is child Jason coming up out of the lake, slow motion, grabbing Alice and tipping over the whole canoe. But then she wakes up in the hospital.
Yeah.
And she goes, "What about the boy? Did you save the boy?" And they go, "What boy?
The boy.
Was it all a dream?"
Yeah. So that was a secondary ending that was shot because they hated the original ending. The original ending was just that. Jason pops out, credits.
I think I would have liked that.
I would have too.
But they needed to tee up Friday the 13th Part 2 somehow.
There were a few different endings. So I was listening to another podcast and they were bringing up the fact that like the 70s and 80s, the thing in horror was, all right, all these people die, the killer gets killed, credit roll. Like it just immediately goes to black and the credits roll.
Yep.
There was no like, all right, what happens after? It wasn't until the 90s where horror started showing you like a little bit of the aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
And so the original ending was supposed to basically just be like Pamela Voorhees gets decapitated, she gets a canoe, movie ends, and they were like, well, no, let's push this further. And then they had Jason pop up, and they were like, that's terrible. Have her wake up in the hospital, and they were like, all right, so it was just misdirect after misdirect. It was like, what's actually fucking happening here? But then then the movie ends.
Yep. And the guy who played the first Jason, the kid Jason, I think Ari Lehman, however you pronounce his last name, met him at Silver Scream Con in Danvers, Mass. And he was telling me and my friend Dominique, who I want to bring on for an episode,
Hell yeah.
all about the filming of that scene, how they had to do several takes and they had to go like in fall weather to a lake in Jersey. And he's just like, it's fucking cold. It's fucking cold. Jesus Christ, we don't have to do it again and again and again. But
they did.
Yeah.
They got the perfect shot. I'm pretty sure they used the first shot.
Yeah. Yeah. What a shame.
Yep.
Yep. So that is Friday the 13th from 1980. Friday the 13th 1, it was just Friday the 13th.
It's just Friday the 13th, yeah. I think if you buy, there are certain like DVDs, not Blu-rays, DVDs that say Part 1 on it. But other than that, I think Blu-ray releases have just kept it.
That, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the movies back then were not planning to be franchises or have any sequels. Like John Carpenter wasn't planning on having a Halloween 2.
Well, he was. It just wasn't it wasn't a Michael Myers movie. So
oh yeah, that's right. That's why
Carpenter's
Season of the Witch
thing,
happened.
Yeah, his whole thing was he wanted to release a movie every year that was Halloween based.
Mm-hmm.
Took place on Halloween, but had something completely horrific to do. It was like, yeah. But people loved Michael Myers, so they were like, oh, well, let's bring him back. And he really didn't want to.
And that's why they also hated Season of the Witch.
Yeah.
Which is a great movie.
Fucking fantastic.
Great movie.
So good. I think it's probably, outside of the first one, it's the best in the Carpenter run.
Yeah. Which I found the other week at Dollar General. Just, checking out.
Dollar General?
Oh, yeah. Just grabbing all sorts of snacks and such. And hopefully the ring light doesn't fuck this up. $5 for Halloween 2 and Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Double feature DVD, which, I mean, who really has a DVD player? But I think the Xbox might play it. And if it doesn't, I still have it. Throw it over here with my Halloween VHS as well.
I mean, I still collect DVDs because there are just some movies that have not been released on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a lot of them to get released on Blu-ray, but some of them just won't get released.
Yeah.
I went to Target the other day because they released the new VHS 98 or whatever it was. Got a steelbook release through Target. Didn't fucking have it. I went all the way out to Target and I was just like, I'm here to get this, and they didn't fucking have it. I asked somebody.
No, you're not.
I was like, hey, do you have this? And they were like, are we supposed to have it? I'm like, it comes out today, yeah. And they were like, oh, yeah, well, let me check the system. They didn't have it in their fucking system.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, that was a Blu-ray, but.
Yeah. So, the thing I was talking about earlier, which has been confirmed by several people, like Tom Savini, Kane Hodder, and, like, Sean Cunningham.
Mm-hmm.
How do you... The main, like, sound to Friday the 13th, how do you say it?
Well, it's
How would you casually just say it?
it's ch 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 ka ka ka, almost like a crow.
Yeah. Okay. So I would always go ch ch ch. Like that's what everybody thinks it is. It is ki ma for kill mommy
Well, I fucking
or
learned
kill
something.
mom.
I fucking learned something new today.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And I mean, it sounds like ch ch ch.
Yeah.
It sounds like that. I don't know where they're getting the ki and the ma. I mean, I understand where they're getting it, but it doesn't sound like it.
No, not at all. Not even close.
You say it however you want to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do it.
Good
job.
enough.
That's perfect.
Nailed it. Flawless. Nothing went wrong.
Except for you, that was wrong.
Yeah, you.
You go sit in the corner. Think about what you just did.
You know who you are. You with the
You.
face and the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that nose.
Oh, that awful nose.
Fucking nose.
We're just completely destroying somebody, and they're like, oh,
We lost one listener. One person.
damn it.
I know they're talking about me. But
All right.
yeah, I love it. We still haven't discussed what we're even doing next week.
Shit. I
Yeah.
think we should keep it a surprise until next Friday when we post the, hey, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
It also
Or-
gives us time to figure out what it is.
Or
Like the or that hit Pamela Voorhees right in
in
the crotch.
the front butt.
Front butt.
Front butt
Baby.
or slam.
That's a shirt right there.
Why don't you throw us some suggestions? Keep it summer or camp related, maybe.
I like, ooh, you know what? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because he's leaving for camp because of the summer.
It could be.
Fucking asshole.
Oh. It could be a classic horror movie. It could be something more recent. I'm trying to think of, were there any real recent summer horror movies?
There was a. It was labeled as a remake. It's totally not a remake, but there was one I actually just recently watched. Slumber Party Massacre. Got a new one, and it's good. I was actually shocked. I put it on because I was like, "This is gonna be fucking terrible."
Yeah.
And I figured it could be background noise, and I was locked in. It was
Nice.
good. I don't know. It was. They took it and they kind of like carried over from the story. They did a Halloween. They Halloweened it.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's that one. But yeah, you could hit us up here on Instagram with a suggestion or go to our website. Just to keep saying it. Yeah, spoilersleepover.com. And there's if you want to be a guest, there's a section in the About Us, but on our main page is also just a hit us up. You can go there and just send us a suggestion, put movie suggestion, and we'll get back to you. And if we don't hear anything,
Stickers.
if we don't hear anything, we will we'll have one picked out anyway.
Sleepaway Camp, The Burning. I feel like I need to rewatch The Burning.
The Burning's so good, and that's Tom Savini's second movie. You just want to go backwards because this was his third one.
Got to find his like home movie that was just trash, where he's basically like a murderous vampire or something.
Dude, honestly, hot take. This is my hot take. The Burning is a better Friday the 13th than Friday the 13th is.
Okay. I will say, like, watching it, I was like, this is very Friday the 13th. Now it all makes sense. I don't think I remember that Savini was part of it.
Yeah, he did the same thing he did for Friday the 13th. Yeah, the kills are even better. Like,
Yeah.
they're way better in The Burning. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to do The Burning. I love that movie. I love that movie.
Yeah.
But
All right.
alrighty.
Well, anybody you want to thank?
I have a lot of people I want to thank. I'll take the reins on the normal thank you give out. I want to thank JB and Jordan and Bree from Camp Nightmare. Per usual, they are amazing human beings. We love them.
Absolutely.
We wouldn't know each other if it wasn't for you guys.
We wouldn't be standing right next to each other. I would go, who the hell are you? And
Yeah.
why are you in my house?
Because I wanted to be here. You look like a cool person.
Get out!
We have matching tattoos.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, my friend Michelle, I bought a laptop. I can do things now because
Yep.
I didn't have a laptop. This was kind of, we're going to do this thing, but I don't have all the hardware I need. Now I do, so that is awesome. I appreciate that. I appreciate anybody and everybody who has just listened to me go on and on about this and has actually joined and come over and watched. And to the future people who log onto the website or listen to us on Spotify, other streaming platforms to come. It's a whole ordeal. Yeah, that's who I want to thank.
Yeah. Rob touched on it, but Camp Nightmare, of course. Thank you, Rob, for coming and making the journey out here so we could finally record one together and coming out of my bathroom.
Yeah. Smells good in there. There's a candle. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. Yeah. Also, if you did tune in yesterday or 2 days ago at this point, whatever time's the construct. Anybody who tuned in to the final stream for the summer at twitch.tv/feistycheese for 24 hours. Like, there was so many people there, and it was fantastic seeing a bunch of new people and a bunch of familiar faces coming in to harass me or to keep me company or to just laugh at my inability to play video games. Thank you to all of you. So it was fantastic.
You gotta stay hydrated, man. That's
Yeah,
the
dude.
only reason I drop in, is just to let them know. Stay hydrated. And I always ask them, like, tell me why. Tell me why.
I don't know. I'm insane.
So yeah, go subscribe to Feisty Cheese. I mean, granted, the season's over right now for him. He will be coming back. And honestly, when it comes down to Twitch streamers, I don't watch a lot because they're an archetype. They're really annoying and screamy. He screams sometimes, but
I'm just screaming.
It's fucking hilarious. Come subscribe. Feisty Cheese, Twitch. Feisty Cheese right here on Instagram.
On the YouTube as well, so a bunch of videos, like if you missed the stream or if you want to rewatch some of it, it will be going up on YouTube in sections in different games, as well as clip videos. I've got like three videos worth of clips to be putting up soon.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, until next week, the last week with you here.
I have been the little child Jason from 1980, Friday the 13th.
Smells the same too.
Oh,
I've been Rob.
sleep tight,
Sleep tight,
suckers.
suckers. Take it
Jesus.
easy.